So the first MCU movie is Iron Man. Tony Stark, who is a genius billionaire playboy, he is the owner of Stark Industry, founded by his father Howard Stark. Stark Industry specializes in weapon manufacturing, and during a military deal which is happening in Afghanistan, Tony Stark is kidnapped by some terrorist, where Tony Stark makes his first prototype iron suit in a cave, and inspired by that idea, he makes the first Iron Man suit, and we get our Iron Man. In this movie only he quotes his famous line, I am Iron Man. In the post-credit scene, we see Nick Fury approaching Tony for the Avengers initiative. The second movie of the Phase 1 is The Incredible Hulk. This film is not that important in this franchise as the lead actor changes in the further movie, but in the post-credit scene we see Tony Stark approaching Agent Ross and tell him about the Avengers initiative. Next movie is Iron Man 2. Again, this movie is also not that important in terms of franchise building, but in this movie we see two important characters of this franchise. One is Natasha Romanoff, who is a Russian spy also known as Black Widow, and second one is James Rhodey, who becomes the War Machine. His powers are similar to the Iron Man. And the next movie is Thor. This movie's lead actor is Thor, god of thunder, from the Norse mythology. Thor is super powerful and with the help of his hammer, he can summon thunder. But he is very arrogant, so his father Odin takes away his powers and banish him to Earth, where he becomes responsible and worthy to carry his hammer. In this movie, we also see Thor's brother Loki, god of mischief, who becomes the main villain in the first Avengers movie. In the post-credit scene of this movie, we see Nick Fury opening a briefcase in which there is Tesseract, and we also see an invisible Loki who is controlling the mind of this scientist, Selvig. Fifth movie is Captain America, the first Avenger. This movie begins during the Second World War, where Steve Rogers wants to fight for his country, but he gets rejected due to his skinny body. But he participates in an experiment where a super serum is injected in his body, and at the end of this experiment, we get our Captain America, who plays an important role in the victory of the Allied powers. In the end of this movie, Captain America's plane crashes in Arctic snow, and he sleeps for 70 years. He wakes up in 2015, where Nick Fury approaches him for the Avengers initiative. Last movie of the Phase 1 is Avengers. This movie begins at the end of Thor movie, where Loki has mind controlled Dr. Selvig and Clint Barton. He steals the Tesseract and runs away. Then Nick Fury starts to accumulate all the superheroes present on planet Earth, the Avengers. Then Thor also joins the Avengers and defeat Loki and his Chitauri army. In the post-credit scene of this movie, we see that Loki was in control of Thanos, and Tesseract and Loki's spears are actually possessing the Infinity Stones. There are total 6 Infinity Stones, and they are Space, Mind, Reality, Power, Time, and Soul Stone. They were created at the beginning of the universe, and if someone possesses all the Infinity Stones, then he can control and change the whole universe. At the time of this movie, 3 Infinity Stones are already present on Earth: Space, Mind, and Time Stones, and Thanos wants to accumulate all these stones. So, this is the end of the Phase 1.
Phase 2 begin with Iron Man 3 and Thor The Dark World. Both of these are not so important with respect to the Infinity Saga, but the third movie is highly relevant with Captain America's The Winter Soldier. In this movie, we see Captain America and Black Widow working together with SHIELD. Bucky Banners aka Winter Soldier is the main villain of this movie who work for the Hydra. In the post-credit scene of this movie, we see two test subjects, one with superhuman speed and other with telekinesis power. Both of them will play important role in Avengers Age of Ultron.
Next movie is Avengers Age of Ultron. This movie begins after the event of the Winter Soldier. In this movie, Ultron the AI software is the main villain who wants to destroy the whole planet Earth. Two test subjects shown in the movie play an important role. First they are on the bad side, but then they turn good after knowing Ultron's intentions. Then all the Avengers come together and defeat Ultron. This movie also introduced an important character of the franchise, which is Vision, who has a Mind Stone in his forehead. In the post-credit scene, we can even see Thanos wearing his Infinity Gauntlet.
Last movie of Phase 2 is Ant-Man. The main character of this movie is Scott Lang, who becomes the Ant-Man. This movie is not that important for the franchise, but this character will play most important role in Avengers Endgame. After this movie, MCU third phase begins.
First movie of Phase 3 is Captain America Civil War. This movie is all about rivalry between Team Captain America and Team Iron Man. This movie introduced two important characters of this franchise. One is T'Challa, the Black Panther, and the second is our favorite friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Second movie of Phase 3 is Doctor Strange. This movie begins in New York City, where Dr. Stephen Strange is a wealthy and arrogant neurosurgeon. But in an accident, he loses control over his fingers and abstains from surgery. Then he goes to Nepal to find a cure for his condition, where he becomes the Sorcerer Supreme and takes the control of the Time Stone. Doctor Strange plays a vital role in both Infinity War as well as Endgame. Third film in the Phase 3 is Spider-Man Homecoming. This movie begins after the events of Civil War. In this movie, Peter Parker fights against local goons of the city who have weapons made up of alien technology. This movie is Sony's property and just a part of Disney's MCU movies.
Next movie is my personal favorite. The name is Thor Ragnarok. In this movie, Thor's banished sister Hela, goddess of death, comes back to Asgard and she wants to become the queen of Asgard. She destroys Thor hammer and he is thrown to the planet named Sakaar, where he reunites with Bruce Banner aka Hulk and comes to Asgard and destroy Hela. In the process, Asgard is also destroyed. In the post-credit scenes of this movie, Thor Ragnarok, Thor's spacecraft is swallowed by the largest spacecraft and his name is Thanos, the biggest villain of MCU Phase 4.
Next film of Phase 3 is Black Panther. T'Challa aka Black Panther is the main character of this movie who lives in Wakanda, countries in African continent which has large reserve of vibranium, a rare element which has super durability and it can produce high level of energy. Captain America's shield and Vision's body is made of vibranium. In this movie, T'Challa defeats his cousin brother to retain the title of Black Panther.
The most important movie in the Infinity Saga, Avengers Infinity War. This movie begins at the end of the Thor Ragnarok where Thanos captures Thor's spacecraft. Thanos has already retrieved power stones from Zendar. He also gets the space stone and Tesseract. Thanos wants the extinctions of half of the world population so that the other half will live peacefully. This is the reason why Thanos wants to collect all the Infinity Stone and then he can snap the fingers and destroy half of the universe population. Thanos gets the Soul Stone from Vormir and the Time Stone from Doctor Strange on his own planet Titan, where Doctor Strange gives Thanos the Time Stone in exchange of Tony's life. Where Doctor Strange tells Tony that it is the only way. We are in the Endgame now. The word Endgame was the biggest hint of the next biggest movie, Avengers Endgame. Then Thanos comes to Earth to get the Mind Stone from Vision's forehead and he snaps his finger and within seconds half of the universe population becomes dust. Many superheroes are disappeared. With this, Thanos accomplish his mission. Next movie is Ant-Man and the Wasp, which is a very important movie in respect with the events which occurs in Avengers Endgame. This movie introduced a new concept called as quantum real, where time is relatively slower than normal time. At the times of Thanos snap, Ant-Man is in the quantum realm. He was not chosen for extinction, but rest of his teammates disappear. So he get stuck in the quantum realm for 5 years, but for him it was just 5 hours.
The last and the most awaited movie of the Infinity Saga is Avengers Endgame. This movie begins 5 years later, after the events of Infinity War and Thanos' snap. Half of the world is living in the memory of their loved ones. Everyone are sad and hoping for a change, a miracle, and it comes with Ant-Man as he comes out of the quantum realm after 5 years. Everyone believed that he is also gone, but he comes back and tell everyone that quantum realm can be used as a time machine and we can reverse the event of Thanos snap by acquiring all the Infinity Stones before Thanos. Then all the remaining superheroes successfully retrieved all the Infinity Stones and reversed Thanos snap in the present time. But destiny follows its way, and Thanos also comes back to the present time from the past. And the battle begins on Earth between all the Avengers and the army of Thanos. In this battle, Thanos again gets all the Infinity Stones and was about to snap his fingers. But Tony Stark steals all the Infinity Stones from Thanos and snaps his fingers for the destruction of Thanos and his army. This was the only way which Doctor Strange tells Tony in Infinity War, and for this process, Tony Stark sacrifices his own life for the betterment of the rest of the world. And before Tony snaps his fingers, he quotes his most famous line, I am Iron Man.